you know, a big fall off here for Rocker. You can see they have lost 5 in a row. And to a surprise here, I mean, we're playing red card. And red card on the year for Minnesota Rocker has not been great in either search or hardpoint. We're talking 2 and 9 across both of those. They do not like to play it, but they're letting FaZe play in map 1.
They got to get to the map 5 somehow, right?
Yeah,
and they've had some map 5 magic. Can they actually get there? That'll be the question. But let's get into our final match of the day. We got a long tournament weekend ahead of you. And already some shocks and surprises so far on this day 1. Maybe we got another one. Who knows? Rocker finally come out hot in the series, and anything is possible. We'll see if Estriel can get out the gate and get the frying. Not able to get too much going as we'll focus here on the P1. Nero nearly recentering onto a third, but eventually traded out by FaZe. If Rocker is somehow going to bring the upset on this map in this series, is it just the slow starts in general you're looking at, or is there any? It's hard to even highlight a player, right? Because it's like any of them could be that like spark plug that had that moment. Like, is there one you look at more?
In terms of players, I mean, I think you're probably looking at Nero and Geo if you're talking about stage 2. That maybe haven't, because Estriel's been fantastic. You heard the desk talk about it.
Yeah.
Paul has stepped up a slow start here in this one, but I just think you need all 4, right? I think you do have the individual talent.
All 4 earlier.
For all 4 players. Yeah, it's just to cause an upset like this, they have to come out early.
We'll see if they can do just that. Is for a moment FaZe trying to soak up this time, but as we look to the P2 into Celium's POV, we'll see what damage he can get done. He's got help from BZ with the double. Only got a drop is really simp, and this will set up the next push coming forward for Rocker to see if they can break, but that's a lovely bit of work from Draws to get the headshot pick and make sure they continue to clear this time.
Yeah, Nero making a big play. He's gonna wrap all the way around and get those outer spawns for his team, but FaZe just soaked it up the hard point. Celium winning it on the hill, able to hit the second as well. Now they're gonna try to push on forward. Looks like the spawns are still safer now for Rocker. Actually, 2 going to spawn out, and Geo's gonna get taken down. This is exactly what FaZe want with 15 seconds left.
That is correct. 2 of them going to get off to the races. The guy they're going to meet there will be Estriel. We'll pay attention to that fight in a moment. But
yeah, he's there early.
Yep. Will he be able to catch anybody? And he is. BZ not ready for it. And he got another one-on-one for Cell, kind of the other side towards camera. And he's able to pull out the pistol and pop away. That'll give you numbers as you go to track down Estriel. Estriel by himself for now, but he's going to spawn one teammate there, and the help from Nero about to come in. Can they actually win this next set of fights, though?
Yeah, both teams just really playing for control, maybe trying to help out Simp on the outer part. Looks like Geo's on the outside, near driveway. They know his position now. They know where everybody else is. So on the FaZe side, you're kind of just playing for spawns, trying to set yourself up for stage hill with those spawns. So you're really just fighting for that control.
I thought Simp was stunned and dead to rights. I almost pulled out 2 somehow, but you're enjoying a decent lead up 40. You get the rest of this. Rocker, you're right back in the fight, but we'll see what Paul X can do from this. Bannister's eating some bullets, so he can't make the play, but Estriel will get the kill. That body on top of the trash can looks insane in the corner, by the way. I think that's a beast who got caught like 20 seconds ago. Nero common, dipping and diving, looking for his next re-entry here towards the point. His re-entry, though, is going to unfortunately be caught by a teammate there from Estriel. Now let's rotate across. Early on the setup again will be Atlanta FaZe. Pressure to Rocker to once again break. You just got to kind of get out of this pattern eventually. Granted, I mean, you had Estriel, I guess, as the forward man last time, but ultimately numbers to FaZe.
Yeah, I mean, FaZe just, this is what they wanted to set up, was to hopefully cash in at this P4. You had Simp on the hill early, Celium locking down the middle of the map, but it's Estriel who's able to find a double. Can they get onto it, though? Draws it just chilling for now. Players gonna spawn on up. All the ARs are out, but Rocker have no pressure on the hill right now. You're trying to cut down the gunfights, but Celium up to 12 and 5. Cutting off middle of the map, the ARs locking it down.
The players that play from bottom stage look so funny. You gotta pay the toll roll. Trying to get it, break through. Draws just crouched, hitting nades, and the lead continues to grow. It's not scary territory necessarily yet, but we're getting close. 80-point advantage to FaZe, and this next hard point, it's got to be a big one.
Yeah, I think you at least need to get a little bit of time here if you are Rocker, right? P5 is one that can be very scrappy. But a lot of ARs out right now. Abizi trying to do what he can on one side of the map, Celium on the other. Yeah, I think you're starting to be a little worried if you are Rocker, because it felt like even on that P4, there was a couple of chances maybe for them to contest. Just couldn't get that final kill onto the hill.
Yeah, you know how difficult it can be here to turn this actually into time at camera. Just so much is contested, or so much of the time is white. A battle around it, but nobody able to battle actually inside of the hard point. Finally, Rocker seeing what they can do. But once you have a BZ inside the ticket, I mean, he's kind of setting his team up for the next rotation. He's able to pick people out of the hard point, trying to get a little crossfire there with the other side of the Tiny Terrace in Simp. Rossi trying to get what damage he can with the pistol, but I mean, you chip away at the lead a little, but not much.
Yeah, no, I mean, really, Abizi's just been inside a ticket, right? He's just like has this crossfire in. So, yeah, as you said, get a little bit of time, but inside of P1 will be FaZe early on. It should be. Well, Paul's going to be the first one there, just cutting through ticket, but FaZe fighting for outer stage.
We'll fight from outside and try to battle in. A better start now for Rocker. Maybe this is where you try to mount your comeback. A good hold. This lead starts to disappear. BZ finally able to finish the kill. Tries to square up on the next one, but gets shot in the side. But you've got everything you want in the minimap right now. If you are Rocker, this is a great position when you think about the rotation, when you think about getting time here. They're turning around this second set. Great stuff.
Yeah, I think if you're FaZe, it's just sort of what went wrong at the end of that P5 into P1. Just, it looked like you were playing for outside. Maybe you had the positions and just lose all the gunfights outside of a BZ near ticket. Now, if you're Rocker, you are set up in prime position to get right back into the game. They were down 80, now right around 40 points. Starting to win some more gunfights. Again, Estriel playing so well.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on the play clock. So far, maybe okay, but a couple minutes off of it. Might become interesting late. Estriel, still the hot hand. Paul X trying to turn it around at 8 and 16. They're going to need him to step it up likely as we get deeper into it, but you probably feel fortunate with him double negative to be battling in the game like you are. At the P2, though, now you've got what you want if you're FaZe. You've got them spawning back. You've got them penned in for rotation. You're getting the time inside. This can be a great stretch to push that lead out again if you're Atlanta FaZe. Let's see if Paul can find something to get him going. Well, he does find something. It's some shots, but also a great need there from Abizi.
Yeah, what a spawn's going to be. I'd say there was just such a slight timing. Outer was open, but Abizi's going to spawn on up, looked over his teammate.
This has been a great
Well, yeah, I mean, FaZe, sometimes they like to play, you know, sort of their perfect hard point, and this has been it so far. Simp just continues to win gunfights around the hill. Finally, a trade onto him. And while they're keeping them trapped for that P3.
Yeah, leaving no opportunity for the flip, pinning him in, getting the time. FaZe building the lead out to about 60 again. Let's hear the comms from Atlanta FaZe.
He's going right side.
I have our front poster. Give me top.
Right near. That's right near. I'm going to. Yo, what's spawning out on me?
Weak heads out.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay alive for a second. I'm going to get
Outer.
One shot.
I still want to where?
I don't see him outer.
He's P1. He could go top. He could go top mid.
I don't see P1 guys.
Outer, weak.
Yo, I think Gio's top, I think. Gio's top or mid or something.
Yeah, I'm trying to help him.
Nice, help me.
One shot time. One shot time mid. Paul outer.
What's outer? Nero.
Stairs in time.
Stairs dead.
Nice, good shit.
Stairs, Gio, one shot.
Take time.
Astro bus. Three there.
Two more at a time.
Yeah, I'm playing up mid.
Both in front.
Steps in you, steps in front.
You want coach gun?
Steps in top. One's mid, pull two.
Mid pole? What's on there?
One's on their bus. I think heads.
I saw that.
I'm mid now.
Nice.
Hey, one more
Nothing
five.
has.
Shot.
He's alright. He's Amy, Astro, one shot, Amy.
Weak on time too.
Zach, I'm saying.
Yeah,
What's the mid-stairs? He's showing your side. Nice, Zach it too. Oh my god!
Empty in his car.
Yeah, I'm trying to get mid with him. Iver mid. What's mid, Nero? Low weak. Nice, Zach it nice. Stay down the hills on you. Go, Nero.
Empty rotate.
Our side, glow. Oh my god, Zach. You're so much better.
Come on, baby. Come on.
Yo, I don't know what they're spawning mid then.
Last one red hedge.
What's our mid on me? Absolute Nero on ticket.
I'm trying to get BSD.
Yeah. I spawned down.
You might be.
Yeah, you might be.
You want to get a ticket?
They have BSD. Yes, they have BSD.
I'm a strike.
I'm actually down.
I don't see him.
Yeah, I'm down.
I'm shrinking out.
He's coming to me.
They're going to be BSD.
Ticket, weak.
One seat to 2 BSD. Middle.
They're ticket near.
Ticket! Dead! Watch out, ticket!
The BSD's dead.
Nice, you're by yourself, Chris. Stay alive and take it.
Higher, SC, one double hill.
Yeah, man.
Higher, we're gonna hill.
I'll take it.
Higher.
I see nothing on it. I'm not like
They're taking okay.
Here, shot this guy. Yeah, good time.
There's a good time.
Be a team.
One might be behind us.
No, I don't think so.
Okay,
What's
good.
going on? Nero mid, one shot. Nero mid, really weak.
Two mid.
Two there.
Take it open.
Yeah, Zach.
Well, Draza was the understage king again, goes on 7 straight, earns his streak, and maybe you don't get what you want out of the streak usage. You're trying to maybe seal the game or get a big break there, but in a break, get up some time. You now get into your next set, opportunity to close it out. If you're Rocket, you stayed in chomping distance. There's an opportunity to maybe make a wild run. You just have to be able to close the gap.
Well, it's really just a 2v4s. In this one, even more so. There were a couple of chances with draws, but he was just able to stay alive. Had the SMG, was making the plays. Goes on that 7 spree, and then, yeah, gets the Hellstorm. But, yeah, in terms of, like, slaying, you're kind of there. You heard in the listening there were some gunfights that FaZe thought they won.
No, they called dead like 3 times.
3 times where they got fried. They just got fried. So, I mean, Minnesota Rocker, they are shooting. Nero's 32 and 27 going off. They just have not been able to make up this lead.
And maybe, you know, you've heard Draws in an interview talk about FaZe, and maybe some of their maps haven't been the prettiest, but they're trying to play the game in a way where the guns aren't hot, where they're losing some fights. They can still win the map. That has been their goal throughout stage 2, and I'm not saying they're gonna be perfect in that regard, but that's the goal, right? That's the goal for a team. You're not always gonna wake up and be beaten. You're just not.
Most days they are, though.
True. But I think you just saw it. I mean, with the loss we just saw for Thieves, like, you're not always gonna be beaming, but Estriel, with his 3 there, opportunity now to battle back. You've been down 50 plus basically the entire game, really from the get-go. Now the opportunity to come alive, maybe mount a comeback like we saw Cloud9 do earlier today, and you're getting closer and closer to doing it. Second by second, the chance is here. We go for the break, that's a great stun. Bails out Cell, who might drop. So far, though, the trades are there. You go 2 for 2. If you're Rocker, nice tracking there from Estriels. He gets to 6 straight, but you're battling back into the point with the close spawns. FaZe get in, 20 needed for the victory. Estriel trying to be the hero, doing everything he can.
Yeah, but they just had to put so much pressure on the hill. FaZe and know this, right? This 20 puts them so close to winning this map. So you have to push on forward. Gio does Minnesota Rocker. Great shots out of Gio. He's up to 35 as well.
That was like hit
on this
marker
rotation.
ASMR,
You see
holy.
Paul and Nero already going to be in the spot, but they don't want to give this up. We know that P4 can be contest heavy, so Gio's going to push on forward. That will flip the spawn zone. This is what I was talking about. They had to put pressure on the objective. Hellstorm going to be called in from Estriel. This could be a great moment for Rocker if they win the fights on the hill.
Can they actually win them? They do. After the streak comes in, Nero, Gio, light it up. Now, you cannot win it here if you're Rocker. This is where it gets so tricky. You've got to be bordering on perfect here. You can't let FaZe get 5 points. You also have to win rotation. These have been the comeback kings so many times this year. Can you do it again? But you can't allow one break, and well, the tiny tears pop off. Drop 3, Cell gets the last. It's the final break. And that leads to a map 1 victory for FaZe. Leading throughout, gassing each other in the comms, and walking away with a red card map 1 win.
Yeah, it wasn't the prettiest at all. I mean, in terms of their red card, a lot of times their right card isn't. It feels like it's always within striking distance if you are that opposing team.
This reminds me of like
Rocker had the chances.
Last year a bit, like their record hardpoint looks great, like 11-3, but it's a lot of close hardpoints. It really is, but at the end of the day, if you're winning them, you're winning them. Fact is, they get it done. Rocker, another just painful one. And I don't want to say they didn't really come out that flat. Like, yes, well, they did though. I mean, what was the lead? What was the biggest they got early?
It was like
80?
110
like 110 to 30?
30, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so I take back what I said. It was same old Rocker.
Yeah, and I think Paul, I mean, you know, this is something, he's been better this stage, but kind of reminds you of stage 1. I mean, damage-wise, he's right there, but 21 and 36, I mean, he's got 21 assists. I just look at the 2P4s. I mean, you lose by 35. If you can somehow break up one of those, this is a much different game.
And another one of those maps, and we've had a couple as of late, even series where Draws has been kind of the takeover guy for them. You know, a lot of times, statistically, you're talking about a guy like Cell or Simpra BZ, but Draws reminds you, I'm here for a reason too. I've got the confidence, I can play at whatever level I need to, and I loved it in the comms when he's like, dude, you're the best. He's like, come on, baby. Like, it's great hearing these guys having fun within a map. BZ obviously not able to grab anybody, which is shocking considering how his stage qualifier has been, but nice map 1 win. This is where, you know, the comeback kind of started. You go down about 80, you bring it back within 40, and that's just this 40 to 50 point advantage you have basically from now till the end of the game.
I mean, this was it. I mean, this was your chance. You finally had the numbers. It was a 1 versus 2. You tried to hit it from both sides. Just doesn't work. I think you get some help from a spawner fewer draws, but he knew the play. The pre-fire was on point. And again, if you split that time, you probably stop the Hellstorm. Maybe a bit of a cleaner P5. But those are the moments you kind of look at. Again, you can shoot with the best if you are a Minnesota Rocker. We've seen that from all their POVs. Just these couple of moments.
Yes, at the very beginning came out flat, but we've had some where they're like just not even like shooting back map 1 or 2, and there's nothing. That is competitive. Like you have opportunities to win that one. You got to feel a little bit better about it. Maybe as you head into a search, and maybe where the opening can be, as much as the hard point, and really the respawns were fantastic for FaZe throughout the qualifier. I mean, everything they kept saying in every single interview, every time we talked to them was search, 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 search. We're working on that. We're gonna see if it paid off. Because you know the best search record over qualifier too, but we'll find out now in LAN.
Yeah, I mean, you know, a lot of little mistakes from the FaZe side, right? Where they have early numbers, they kind of threw them away. And I think they're saying this just because the way they won Major 1, right? Best of 7, you have 3 S&Ds, they won all 3. They know that they have the talent to win a Control, a Hardpoint versus anyone.
Yeah.
It's just if they lock in their game mode, can win 2 out of 3 of those. Like, they should win the tournament.
Yeah, well, now it looks real different. I mean, based on the Thieves loss, I mean, how this could go. Granted, Thieves could still make a run through losers, and they meet up in the finals, but this tournament quickly, it looks a lot different than we expected it to after 1 upset there for Breach. Rocker trying to do the same. How wild will this one look if like FaZe for round 1 as well?
That'd be
Suddenly both those teams
bracket,
losers.
yeah.
No, that'd be insane. It's like the whole bracket flipped on its head.
Well, if FaZe lose this, they would play off the round 1, so that would be insane.
That'd be tough. Welcome, guys. Round 1 losers match. No, I'm not thinking that's going to happen. They rarely get upset in round 1. They're looking to continue the tradition of winning these major 2s, or at least get into a final. But we talked about S&D and how much they've been working on it, but there have been some struggles with that. I mean, you look at what they did in stage 1, you look at what they've done over the course of stage 2. 4 and 6 for a team like this, historically in Search, not great.
No, not good at all. You kind of see the drop-offs there. You know, defense, they're 8th. Like, again, to me, that just sort of says, like, when you are winning opening duel win percentages, maybe you're just throwing away those rounds, right? The sort of conversion rounds that we talk about. Just not paying dividends.
And could it be a thing where, you know, where you're trying to get better at it, you're trying different things, it's like you get worse before you get better type of thing when you're working through different setups, you're working through different situations?
Well, I think, listen, like, you know, when you're sort of on top, everybody's watching your gameplay, sort of what you're doing. I think throughout this stage, in terms of respawn, heck, even Search, people watching a lot of LADs, like FaZe just, yeah, maybe trying some new things or
I felt like
trying to make some adjustments.
FaZe have just kind of quietly been cruising this. I mean, all the talk was really about Thieves, with stuff going on with Optic, obviously. That was where a lot of the noise was. Just talking about social, I mean, us on broadcast. We didn't really talk about FaZe all much, but...
Well, I think you had a couple of losses to Surge, including in the minor too. That,
yeah,
you don't win the minor, so... LADs have been perfect, and they want that,
no, I mean,
but now it's different.
It makes sense why the chatter was there, but yeah, no, it definitely changed after that last series. But into the map too. Abizi saw his stats on Red Card overall for the season. Thinking maybe a first blood. He gets some tags in on a forehead, but he's double chowed and wisely backs out of that. Worried about the pressure, getting the info, deals with Estriel. Nice first blood there for Abizi. I've said that a few times in my career.
Yeah, no, a lot of times. A lot of times. And well, they're going to find the next 2 with Geo on the flank. Again, a lot of maps, or sorry, these first couple of maps, Red Card, not one that Rocker play a ton of. 2-9 on the year across Hardpoint and Search and Destroy. So you think just early advantage to FaZe, and you're getting that so far.
What did you think, like, overall, just with the map set when you saw it?
I think, like, I mean, you're playing Hacienda Control. Like, no one's really been able to beat FaZe there. Like, that's going to be a big question mark. But, you know, Rocker are undefeated on it at this stage, so that'd be fun. But I think the back half of the series looks promising for Rocker. They just have to get there.
Have to get there. Going to be one of the harder things to do. We'll see. Obviously, FaZe tested, go to a game 5 or 2 towards the latter half of this qualifier. Breach push them there, and well, now looking less shocking after that Breach victory. Maybe they're hitting a better form. But you found nothing in your opening round if you are Rocker, trying to see if they can turn the tides now on the offensive scheme of things. Just playing for info, biding their time and looking to pounce. That's narrow. We'll see when he gets ready to engage. But you've still got 2 people kind of posted here for FaZe. See what the setup looks, and well, now the info for both sides. You only really see there's at least one here, I believe, so maybe Rocker's thinking we pounce quickly. Slide in, trying to check the door, maybe. Nobody there. You just get gunned down, probably by the crossfire from the 2 ARs, so you get blooded again. A BZ maybe taking a chow or looking for info. He doesn't need to. That's a death you can't throw away.
Yeah, maybe you're just trying to time the slide, but now you're in a 3 versus 3. Abizi typically doesn't make those mistakes, but they've been doing that in stage 2. Cell, though, brings it back, and just like that, it is all down to Geo. But I think just so telegraphed was that round. Simp was in the middle of the map mid-stairs, and he's seeing nothing A side, so you get 2 quick rotations over towards B. You find that first blood as soon as the doors open. Draza closes the round out.
It feels like you just have to show something. Something out towards A.
Well, you know, we didn't see a ton of red card online through stage 2. Like Major 1, there were so many, right? It felt like, you know, the meta really set itself at Major 1 was like this 2-2 split. You know, one guy lurking, maybe just some rotations back and forth. And now it's just like both teams. Are there any changes to that?
Yeah, no, true. So far, FaZe, though, dominating. Let's see what the plan attack is here on the next offense. Abizi, first blood with AR in hand last time. This time it's right to the sub, and he's just going. He's like, bait me, follow it up.
They just go so quick. Look where 1 and 3 are. They're across the map. This is what I mean. This 2-2 split just gets found out if you are FaZe. So now it's going to be down to Paul in a 1 versus 3. Finds the first. But a tall task ahead.
Yeah, it's like you got to do like a 3-1, just play a retake type thing. That was a really good example of what you were talking about, though. They just hit it so quick. The rotation not able to come in. Can Paul clutch up? The answer swiftly is going to be a no. 3 commanding rounds now for FaZe, and Cruise control in the search.
Yeah, just so much pressure early. They just, there's no fear. No fear. Whether they have the info that there's multiple players, maybe based off nades outside A, but they just have the call. Let's hit through the door, use our numbers, and, well, they had it.
Yeah, I mean, look, dude, the BC just hit that. Like, I didn't feel like he had any chance to actually win a gunfight, but he slides in, teammates get the info, they'll get the next 2 cleanly, and suddenly you've got numbers. Just kind of sacrificing his body there to break open B. No success to write about yet for Rocker, but maybe this will be the round. You've got bodies here to beat him, though. Draws, first blood, damage into Paul as well. Things falling apart early.
I mean, it just feels like they're reading the map so well right now is FaZe. And then on the other side of the map, you're going to have a 1 versus 1. Estrio versus Abizi. Abizi, normally the island player. Does he get caught? It's happened a couple of times. Not going to happen this round.
Tucked away in a corner. Making the play, no opening for Estriel. Advantage grows more. They are getting manhandled. Gio, maybe he can bring it back. He's gonna have to find everybody as he's just trapped in, and Cell's toying with him. Best of luck with that. This has not been close.
Yeah, and this has been the issue with Rocker at times. I mean, just like, where are we?
Yeah.
Early in these series, and here's another example of it.
Well, it felt better, at least with the final score of the map 1. It seemed like the guns were getting hot, but as you said, this isn't one they go to often when you talk about search. And at least right now, it seems like the search work you've been putting in if you were FaZe, this has been terrific. Cell cool as a cucumber.
No mistakes so far, that is for sure.
Other than maybe Abizi, his little like slide out when you're in the 4v3, that's about it. And even that, I mean, that round gets cleaned up immediately. Draza had a massive map 1. He's 5-0. Still yet to drop. Finally, a first blood for Rocker. Something to write home about, but you still got to take the round.
Look at that call. It's just like a 4-through mid. Like, it's a desperation play, and Abizi's going to get caught. So Minnesota Rocker pulls some out of their hat, and, well, it's looking to pay off.
They're just going to pull out a bunch of rabbits. Like, they're going to need more, a whole flock of them, or whatever it's called, Joe.
We'll see if they can find something.
Yeah,
starts with 1 rabbit.
Yeah,
though.
no, starts with 1 rabbit. Nice round. Just how many times are you going to get away with something like that?
Yeah, just sort of a blind counter, just double chow through mid. The other 2 players go through, take it, fly on through. Able to catch the players who are watching the flank over towards B side. But yeah, now you have to win an offense.
What do they need to change here? I mean, nothing's really been working for them on offense.
Well, I guess it's just going to be like, do we just kind of go over towards that A site and try to get the bomb down? B has not worked out at all.
Just more traditional, kind of work it up. Take the plant unless there's, well, you've had 2-3, kind of stack that side for FaZe at times. They've had some different looks here defensively.
You know, right up mid. It worked the last round, right?
Yeah, screw it. Let's just send it. I love this. It's just, we're just flying up through lobby. They take mid, they get a blood.
Someone's in a car as well, so I think they're trying to run at the player in the car. And while that person has to get out, that's going to be Simp, but it worked. Again, just run down the middle.
Okay, so maybe that's not going to work that many times. Maybe at least once on offense and defense, it's going to end up working out. But again, got to close it out in the 3 versus 2 against the Tiny Tears. Stunning. Getting info, snapping back and chowing. Nice job there, a little 2-man game. To close out the round, there they go back to back, and they're quickly back in it. It's just now FaZe's turn to kind of make adjustments to the hits they're seeing.
Yeah, I think right there at the end, you saw that player throw the stun. I think Abizi misses it, so he's just trying to run on forward. He's thinking like maybe someone's gonna hit on the bomb. I have a 1 versus 1. Maybe I can turn that into 2. That's why he's just like kind of sprinting through the doorway. He's got no hit marker off that stun.
Yeah, honestly, I was wondering because I didn't see the hit marker, but then it looks like Rocker like did hit it based on one team kind of holding it. I was like, did he hit it or not hit it? But I didn't think it connected. All right. Rocker, let's see if they can get another one. Once again, maybe just hit it. Just try to get aggressive and find the openings, and it has been paying off. The adjustment not there yet for FaZe.
It's just kind of like 3-4-man hits. This time it's a 3-man hit through B. Challenge early, get the numbers, then back away. Or do you? Nero's just going to keep on going. And while the timing may work out, or is he going to throw away the advantage? No, a nade will bail out that challenge.
Yeah, thank God for that nade. Otherwise, that may be one you're wanting back. Bomb going to be down. Sella draws, looking to reposition. Cell maybe in a little bit of trouble, but Estriel just kind of holding on to Bomb. POV, or not really POV, kind of the third person here from Estriel, kind of his little wiggle as he holds the edge. Draws, I thought nearly gonna win that. That's 5 straight now for Estriel, 3 straight rounds for Rocker. They went from getting stomped to taking over.
Well, they just have these moments where they're just like, I don't know what we're doing, but we just need to play with some more confidence. And well, it's just these early hits that catching FaZe by surprise. 2 right through the middle this time. Be aggression and catch Abizi. They know he's kind of solo challenge outer with that AR, and able to get them in that spot, give them that first blood.
Gotta think eventually they're gonna set up something to deal with this. Based on the aggression out of Rocker. See if they do it again or try to slow it down. Now they found a little rhythm to their game, get to a more kind of traditional setup. Estriel still on this streak. All right, so no kind of crazy hit, 4-man up through lobby. Back to a more standard approach. Estriel not spotting anything yet. Let's see what Abizi's position ends up being inside of that B site, as he was able to catch one kind of earlier in this map too.
Well, they know by now, right? Like Abizi's the only man here, so can you try to find him and then just take the B zone? But here comes the rotate. It looks like maybe Abizi gets some info, gives the call out to Cell. They have a couple of players out array, so they know it's not that. Now Droz is going to be in a position.
Yeah, this is taking so long. Everyone now starting to get together. The utility going to be huge. What's it going to hit? Cell. Going to take some damage there. They're just sliding back and forth. Kind of toying with them for now. Pressure going to be on Rocker to actually engage.
They're going to try to rotate this. They only have 25 seconds. They have to go.
Both teams try to rotate here quickly. Estriel trying to keep them honest. Some nice
Are they going to go back to B? What are we doing?
On top of the wrap, on top of the wrap. I'm not sure they know what they're doing.
Maybe it'll work.
It might. We get back in. Now, everybody grouping up again inside. Nades are going to hit. First blood to Simp. Abizi then lines up 2. Estriel by himself and drop. They couldn't find an opening anywhere. Back and forth they went between sites finally. Trying to get in, just not finding anything.
I mean, was the play call to fake it 6 times?
It might have been. Yeah, it might have been.
Like, was someone just an AB, 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 AB?
Yeah. We'll see how it goes down from Abizi's POV once they get in. And they just end up stacking up in front of him, kind of in fights with his teammate. Turns into him popping off a triple. Nice round there from Abizi. But no, I'm sure the comms were kind of the same thing for both teams. Just where everybody's at, which side we're going to try and hit. But back and forth we go. FaZe do stop the bleeding in that one after the 3 straight rounds from Rocker. Now just 1 more needed for FaZe. See if they can do it now on offense. Kind of out of that 2-2. We got a quick rotation over from Geo available, but just a full four-man line here from FaZe, slowly inching their way forward, playing potentially for a pick. But this definitely looks to be an A push. We'll keep an eye on the flank battle when that decides to go down, but Draza now back to stage where he dominated in the map 1. This time he's playing from up top.
Well, here's maybe like one of the adjustments. Like, I mean, how rarely in Search and Destroy do we see Abizi, the guy on the flank with an AR, right? But you've seen that really throughout this entire map.
True, true. Oh, they've been working on all qualifier too. So far, paying off. Thought maybe Paul's gonna get blooded, ultimately will drop, but Nero does get one before that happens. Estriel, what damage can he do from up top? And Draza's gonna get the spot, and suddenly it's gonna be Estriel 1 versus 3 for the map. Bomb has been planted. He is in a world of trouble, knows he's just gotta go. No real options to do anything else. Great shots there onto Draws, snaps the one window. Fortunately, they're out the other side, and that's a 2-0 edge now for FaZe. And to be fair, in like your more traditional type rounds, they dominated. In the 3 they got caught, just kind of like, I don't know, off looks, aggressive hits from Rocker. It's just, I feel like you can only get away with that so much. Right, you can only get away with that.
Yeah, there's only so many timings. There's only so many different looks you can have for that, but it's just a question of if they came out earlier with that. It just felt like someone literally said in the comms, we just need to do something. Let's start to take some gunfights.
Well, they seemed real decisive at least with that, but then you saw once they ended up like slowing down how indecisive.
Well, maybe if they don't know what they're doing, FaZe doesn't know what they're doing.
Think less, just hit stuff. With FaZe up 2-0, chance to shut it down at the control, and that's where it gets a little interesting on Hacienda, but I know they had those 3 round losses in a row, obviously, but did you see anything from FaZe? You mentioned the easy switch up, kind of watching the flank. They've been working on Search a lot.
No, I think that's really the only thing that stands out. I think Abizi inside of B is going to be something you watch. They'll play a lot of red card Search and Destroy, just sort of how he is on the island. I mean, it's always a lot of pressure on that player, but it feels like when he's in sort of his motion, dodging nades, playing well, it feels like it turns into a multi-kill.
No, it can so often. I mean, he started the game with the first blood, had a triple there late in it. BZ making plays, and FaZe taking the 2-0 edge, a map away from continuing this run. Another opportunity to win a Major 2, a chance to win 3 majors in a row. We're headed to a quick break. When we get back, we continue with the Control.
The Esports World Cup is an official partner of the Call of Duty League.
Upgrade your game with the Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
What is the Classics freshman class? Every year throughout Call of Duty history, there's a new wave of talent looking to shake things up.
He is on a roll right now. It's right there. There's the house up.
And define what the next generation looks like.
Call of Duty World Champions.
So the question is, who's next? You got them suits. Most of you were born in 2006, so to put it in perspective, here's things that happened in the year 2006. Pluto is downgraded into a dwarf planet. Google buys YouTube. Steve Irwin dies. You guys know who Steve Irwin is?
No. I actually just asked him
Steve
who that
Irwin.
was.
Well, hello there. We are back and ready to kick it into the map 3. A hot contest so far. Yeah, it's hot in the building. It's hot in the series.
Hey, you got shorts on today.
You're hot. Yeah, I knew it was gonna be warm, so I had a feeling. So I had to pull out the quads. Look at these things. You think anyone's blinded? I've been
see through them.
I've been hitting the Peloton though. There's some muscle there. I'm telling you, these things feel like a couple of rocks, man.
Okay.
I'm so sorry about that, everybody at home. Hopefully, no one
Viewer discretion is advised.
had their vision affected by the bright lights of my quads.
But the Miami Heretics are hungry for a win. Can they end this streak?
Then, Toronto squares off against Minnesota. The Rocker will need a masterclass from the rookie Lindsay.
What is Ben doing here?
And you both just died to it. It was awesome.
Oh no, mamma mia!
Oh my God!
Mamma mia!
Oh my God!
Oh no!
Wow. You are him.
Oh no! How about you both?
Yeah, perfect.
No, he's mid desk, laying down mid desk. The long desk, snaking the long desk. Nice, Clay. Good Let's go, Clay. Let's go, Clay.
Ran at him, bro.
Yeah, you should have with the Vaz for sure.
All good.
You to the staircase. We're gonna be getting pinched. I have no ammo. I had to push up. Yeah, you just push. Dead. Umbrellas. And just don't line up with me. Guys. I had no ammo, bro. Dude, that's so tough, bro. I had no ammo, bro.
Each pack includes home and away operators, as well as this weapon charm that's easy as fades. Next time you boot up, suit up at the in-game shop.
Hello, everybody. We have returned. Day 1 about to wrap up. It's our final match of the day. Could end here in a 3-0 fashion, or we could have the Rocker magic. They somehow look dead in the water, then they win a control, then we know we're going to map 5, and who knows what the hell happens. If they get there, well, I mean, I think if they took map 5, we know what might happen. They have a very good chance to win it based on their vault search, but it just feels like they like rise from the dead like the Undertaker so often. It's like one time that dude's just dead.
It's just a problem.
Yeah, no, it is.
No, it's a problem. You know, they kind of know it, but they're just in this situation again. It's just, can they beat, FaZe on Hacienda, who've kind of set the meta on this map. 6-2 overall in control. Hasi, they've only lost, one time? And that was just that was for, say, LAG, right?
Yeah. I was walking to, Freebird or whatever to get a burrito earlier. And I walked by, it was Gio, Paul, and Looney. And I was like, hey, boys, how about we start the series before map 3 today? And Looney just looks at me and goes, agreed! The other two were looking at me and pissed off. I was like, oh. I'm sure the coach was like, can we please get started a little bit earlier? That'd be great, but here we go. Familiar territory for Rocker. Down 0-2. And I'm just waiting on, we've seen it on this exact map. Like a Geo gets a triple or a quad, suddenly the team starts going crazy.
All right, a better start here, but a couple of players on the B points. And well, I lied.
Yeah, the start was great with the first 2, and then Draws just rips one out of bout. They followed up with 2 more, and now this might ultimately end up being a second tick. Not going to be as Gio finishes that off on the headshot. We were real close to it. Still have half the progress done, or not. It's getting clear. Never mind, it's not going to be the case. Okay, they're just going to kill everybody, so it doesn't matter. Suddenly you're at risk of getting spawn killed, because through bottom opposite you've got Simp. Spawning up out by P2 and pushing up as number 8 and Draws. A chance to pinch them in. Yeah. Big timing going to be here for Simp, but when he's going to attack, he was holding from the front line. We'll see what Abizi's able to do.
I'm glad he doesn't overshadow there, Simp, right? Obviously just known for his discipline, but there's only 2 players on that B point. So if him and his teammate die up front, you could have like a 3 versus 2 each and retake. Oh! And well, Draws is like, let's just put him right back to the spawn trap. 3 players trying to get up top halls, taken down. He's immediately onto A, make it 4. He's got a trophy in hand. He's got an SMG in the back pocket. Abizi and Draws going off.
Yeah, going off, and maybe one of the faster rounds offensively we're going to have. Simp just putting in damage off of spawn. He's just delaying the troops, and that's gonna be big because you're on the point. He just delays a couple, gets one, makes it difficult for them to get in. Basically 1 tick left to get done once they get this second one in. You're on 5 straight, make it 6 for BZ. That's only his second death, and he had 1 off the break. Nearly done. Big gunfights here for Rocker if you're going to stay alive. They're able to clear them off the point for now.
There's 2 minutes left.
There's 2 minutes left and you have 8 lives. Like,
I was like, all right, how long do they have to hold for? A minute 50?
They had to hold for an eternity. They're going to need some insane sequences here. Cell somehow staying up through the stun, bobbing and weaving till the help comes in. 14 versus 4, no respawns remaining. Paul trying to be the hero from bottom arches, but can't quite do it. They close out the round 1 phase. Dominance offensively, and yeah, they've been good on Hacienda.
I mean, that's just it. I mean, I don't know. Throughout today.
The fact that they had the first 2 deaths on the first push, too. And it went like that right after.
Yeah, I feel like Draws is always that last player B. I feel like he's one of the best, if not the best, at staying alive on that point, just sort of finessing around fences. But he buys enough time for his teammates to come off spawn, put him in that trap, they get done with that point. I mean, I don't know what, a BZ gets 3, draw.
Yeah. Rocker got smacked around a little bit in that first round. Maybe this is when Geo pops 4.
Maybe this is it.
We're just so used to seeing some kind of hero play and all 4 Rocker players kicking it into another gear. We've seen it online so often, maybe not happening here on the main stage.
Yeah, Paul again, a slow start. It felt like for a bit there throughout stage 2, he got away from that.
Yeah, I remember like after kind of what that optic match was up to, he's like dropped like 40, he's like, I'm back. Like,
had it in this map 1, had it here.
Yeah.
These are the rounds that hurt him.
Solid opening go from Rocker. This time they actually turn it into getting all 4 players. It might not turn into much more after that. Geo not able to chain it together. Sent back to respawn is everybody for Rocker, so you win that opening push at least. But the next waves from phase shuts you down, sends it back. And looking to send them to losers.
It's just not close right now.
No, it's not. Well, at least within this round, it's not too bad. Sim's just cheesing. After he's able to turn that into 2, pushing up towards the spawn to try and get kills is going to be Draza and Cell they're going to have to deal with, and then on the other side is going to be Sim. And he's just popping from well, but that buys a little time for his teammates to now rally across. Draza not able to chain that together. So there's only 20 seconds remaining, and you're still getting cut down by arches. The BZ is already 13-5, and you're just going to get no chance at this. You're just a line sprinting off spawn to try and get somewhere. 1 by 1, you're getting cut down and put into the absolute blender. Neither round close.
I think there's just a lot of teams where you just looked at today's vetoes in map choices, and like the map pool has been such a big discussion throughout the day. Like in every single matchup.
Yeah.
This is like another one where, you know, you're starting off with 2 red cards. You just don't play that if you're Rocker. You're kind of forced to. And then here, like, I mean, I guess pick your poison, Hacienda or Protocol.
Well, what did we talk about, like, all qualifier? I mean, some of the teams we saw improving, it's just difficult because you're trying to improve, like, on your OK maps to begin with, and then you're also trying to add maps to it. It's just hard to do.
You're also trying to win.
Also trying to win, yes. Like, you don't have the luxury of your phase or Thieves to, like, work on things, and if you lose a series, it's not the end of the world. It's so hard to do, and I think, yeah, it becomes a much more glaring issue once we get to LAN. Everything's on the line. You have just no map advantage really over phase, well, unless we get to like the map 5, but there's not going to be many you're going to find. Last chance really for Rocker before they get kind of blown out in this series.
They got 3 kills to start here, so maybe a little bit of a difference, but Sim's going to work inside of the office. The hip fire hits, the stun hits. He's going to find a double to open up the map, and you see the arrows just flying forward.
Flying forward is exactly the case. You have Cell inside your boathouse. Just shots on the crossbar. This is not what you want.
Like, what is this angle? Who sits here?
It's just not what I don't think we've ever really seen this from a player on offense. Like, I'm stealing your boat. They finally deal with him, but like you gotta track back with him the whole time. You're on B. Your second bit of progress done. Collapsing on you will be Draza. They get picked apart from the front, the side, at least not the back anymore as they shut down Cell. And Cell just gets right back, guys. I'll get over to the house. I'll deal with that side. I'll deal with the spawners.
Someone's got to finish.
Yeah,
me.
someone needs to get back on to finish it. That's
All right,
going to be
Josh,
Dross will try back to do it.
We blacked out.
They all start rotating.
Who's going to go for spawn kill?
They've been a step ahead. They've just been a step ahead of themselves, too, it seems. I mean, you're in better shape than you were last time.
Right, yeah, small victories.
I'm not sure it's going to turn into a round win. At least you prevent them to kind of chaining right from B into A, but outcome might just be the same. Cell is just working this side and winning one-on-ones for it feels like the entire round.
Yeah, and really, he's just buying time so his guys can hunt down the players hallways, right? Like, 'cause that's what they're doing. They have to focus on Cell, and well, it just sort of forces the lurkers out. Where are they? Force them to make a play, and well, Simp's gonna catch Geo. So now you can work the objective because you have an idea of where everybody is on the map.
Well, finally Cell drops, so maybe a chance to battle back in, but you've been pausing the clock this entire time. Still got a minute to go. You get 2 bodies on now. The 2 bodies on the point going to be really your remaining players. Easy going to climb up and try and cut off the reinforcements, and he does a beautiful job of that. Just towing the line between Slang and working the objective. Doesn't finish that kill immediately. It leads to a teammate dropping and maybe a retake, but you got 5 lives. There's nothing you can really do here. 50 seconds still to go. No respawns remaining. Cell is shredding you at 19 and 10. This round has been diabolical out of Cell. It was the 2 subs in the point. Now it's the ARs to try and close it out. They get so close, but can't quite finish it. Maybe Simp will pop off to shut it down. Won't able to get there in time. One more does. One more kicked out of the lobby. It's dominance from FaZe, the 3-0 win, and with the Thieves loss, who the hell is going to slow down this FaZe team now?
I mean, I don't even know what to say. That was straight belt ass.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was.
legitimately.
It was like the last, like the map 1 was all right, like once you came back into it, but map 2, like I know you had those 3 rounds, but you mostly got dominated in like your actual like search rounds. And then this was not competitive at all. Not, especially like this. When you're on defense, it's got to look better than that. Like you just got choked out, I guess with that belt after it was on their ass.
Yeah.
Jesus. Dominant.
Some people like that.
Yeah, true, but
I mean, listen, I guess if you're an Opti fan in here, and that's the way Rocker are gonna look like.
Yeah, true. Maybe it's an opening.
Maybe an opening.
You gotta think, you know, who knows? I think in front of the crowd.
Just don't pick ball.
Improved. Just don't pick ball. They might though.
They are notorious to picking 3 vaults.
Yeah, they are. Maybe not against Rocker though, but we'll see that match tomorrow. That'll do it for our matches today though. And sheesh.
I don't even know.
I just look over the desk and Chris is cracking up about belts. That's our bad, bro. We're having fun, Chris.
I don't know what else to talk about.
No, I mean it was not close at all. And yeah, Paul has a rough one in the respawns. Like he has a rough one.
And I guess if you're a FaZe fan and you were worried about the search, like Red Card, they haven't really shown a lot of weaknesses.